Doing good. Today we are going to discuss one very interesting problem in SQL where we have to find managers with 5+ employees reporting to them. And I have already created one table to solve this problem, and there are multiple ways to solve this problem. So let me first show you the table. So this is how I have created the table. So there are 4 columns in this table: employee, ID, then name, then department, then manager ID. This is the table that I have created. Then I have also inserted certain values in this table, and finally when I do select star, this is the table that I am getting. So there are 4 columns: ID, name, department, and manager ID. Now the question for us here is that we want to find all managers who have 5 or more direct reports and then get their name. So for example, if you see 101, the name of this employee is John, and its employee ID is 101 and name is John. And you can see this repeating more than 5 times: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and even in these 2 rows this is repeating. That means 101 is repeating 7 times. And we are interested to find all the managers who have five or more than 5 direct reports and get their name. So this requires 2 steps. First, we have to figure out which manager ID have 5 reports, and then get the name of those managers from the employee table. I hope the question is clear. And the traditional way is to solve it using a nested subquery inside join. So I will write the query for you. First of all, using a nested subquery inside join. So first of all, I will write the query and then you will get more sense. Select name from employee. I am giving alias to this, and also here I am mentioning this. Then I will join this. Select manager ID from employee where manager ID is not null, because I am interested in getting those managers, those employees who are having more than basically those employees who are having more than 5 reportees. And in case there is any null, for example, if you see John is having null, that means I'm not interested in getting this outcome anywhere in my final result, because John is the senior most manager and he is not reporting to anyone. So this is not the desired output also. So that's why it's essential that we put this condition where manager ID is not null. Also, I need to group by manager ID, and because to get this count we are using group by, and group by we are doing on manager ID, because this groups all the employees who they report to. And then we use count star greater than equals 5, having count star greater than 5. So this is my this is my subquery that I have written, and I need to give certain alias to this. So I have given alias as m. Now I will use own keyword, because we have to join these manager ID and get the name of that particular manager. So I'm joining this subquery with this employee table, and I will join this on ID. And if I execute this query, you should get the desired output, which is John. So even when I showed you this table, I explained you that 101 is the employee ID of John and it is repeating 7 times. That means he has more than 5 reports. Dan, James, Amy, Annie, Ron, Oscar, Eve, they are reporting to John. So the desired output, if you just see the table also, is John. And this is how we have written this query using subquery. However, this subquery works. However, it gets harder to read as logic keeps growing because it's a very simple question. So instead of nesting everything inside a parenthesis, we use CTE, common table expression, to make the logic cleaner, readable, and usable. So the main benefit of CT, as we also discussed in previous videos, is that it improves readability. It's easy to debug in case you are finding error during final execution of the result, and also it is scalable for complex queries. So I will first write the query and then I will make you understand why we are doing this. So we will first create a common table expression or a temporary table which with name manager reports count. So you can to understand this, you can think of this CTE like a named shortcut or a staging table, where basically instead of writing everything in line, we are getting that logic at label and telling SQL, hey, first get this result and call it manager reports count, then I will use it in the main query. Because guys, since many SQL interviews value clarity as much as they value correctness, and using CT shows the interviewer that you can write cleaner modular SQL code, which is a great practice in analytics. So let me first write the query using CTE. So I have already uh, write the CTE so that you guys are sure that we want to solve this query, this particular problem using CTE also. And as I mentioned that we will create one temporary table with name manager report count. Manager report count. This is the basically syntax for using CTE. And now I will write that query where we will find those managers whose direct reports are more equal to 5 or more than 5. So let me write that query. Select manager ID from employee. So this is the table from which I am finding this, where manager ID is not null, because I'm not interested in John because he is the senior most manager and he is not reporting to anyone. Group by manager ID. So to get this count, we are using group by manager ID because this groups all the employee who they report to, as we did while solving it with subquery. And then I will write having count star greater than or equal to 5, and this completes my subquery. So in case you just execute this also, you will get certain output, and the output is 101, which is John's ID. So now I will use this table because we don't want all the names. We are just interested to find the name of manager to which more 5 or more than 5 employees are reporting. So select e dot name. I am writing e because I am going to give alias as e to this employee table, and then I join this table with my CTE table that I have created here, the name of which is manager reports count. So I will copy this as it is. I'm giving the alias to this as M. Then I am using on keyword and I am joining this on e.id equals m.managerId. So this is my query SQL code using CTE, and the output will be John as expected. So CT is very useful, and you should also I'll always try to use CT if possible, because it's very the logic that you write is very cleaner, readable, and usable. And the main benefit that you get, especially when you are practicing SQL, is that it is very easy to debug in case you are frequently getting errors while writing SQL code. Now there is one more way to solve this query, and that is using self joins. So I have already written the query for this, and this is self-explanatory. And in case you have any doubt for how self joins are helpful here, you can ask in the comment section, so that you ask only that question where you are getting certain doubts. So this is how using self joins, as I already explained in the previous video, that self joins are very helpful for writing those SQL codes where you are comparing one row with another. Since here again in previous video we have solved that we want to find the name of manager for employee, we are using self join. Again the question is similar to that, it's just that we are interested in names of the manager to which five or more than five employees are reporting. That's why we are using group by and having in same query. So this is also a good question to understand how your conceptual clarity related to using of group by and having. So if you use self join, you will first select name, and this is the manager name because you are interested in manager to whom five or more than five employees are reporting, from employee, and then you join the same table. So you are giving the same table a different name, different aliases. So we have already discussed this when we were discussing self join. And then using on keyword, you are joining these two tables. So this is the manager instance for the same table, employee instance of the same table, and this is the manager instance of the same table, and you are basically joining manager ID with ID, so that you get for each employee you get the corresponding manager's ID. And you are doing here group by m.name, so that you can count, so that we can to basically to get this count we are using group by m.name, because this groups all employees who reports to the a manager. And having count star greater than 5, because we are interested to find those managers who have 5 or more direct reportees. So if you execute this query, this is very simple, you will get the same output, which is John. So there are three ways that we have discussed to solve this particular problem. We have solved using nested subquery, then we have solved using CTE, common table expression, then we have also solved this query using self joins. So subqueries are not a recommended way to solve this question. However, when you are practicing such type of problem, you can very well use that too. However, if you have to see between self joins and CTE, personally I found that CTE are more cleaner, readable, and usable code compared to the self join, because you might face little problem in understanding that how we are joining this using on keyword. But CTE, in my understanding, it's a very well written and very clean code, which gives you more clarity while you are, in case you didn't get the expected outcome. However, it's up to you that which method you want to solve it. So we will again meet you in next video with some different and exciting concept in SQL. Thank you.